Hi, thank you very much for inviting me here today. I'm Carolina Llorente, coordinator of the Studies Center on Science, Communication and Society from the Universitat Pompeu Fabra in Barcelona. And I'm going to share with you some of the results of our contribution to the Concise project regarding the hurdles and incentives to engage in public science communication. In line with the second objective of the project, it was sought to identify the barriers and incentives for science communication. And concretely, we share to identify such barriers and incentives for scientists communicating science, but also for professional science communicators. To this end, besides carrying out a literature review of scientific literature, but also policy documents and grey literature, we carried out 26 semi-structured interviews with science communicator researchers from 15 countries and one contrast online workshop with 18 science communicator practitioners. It means journalists, communication officers, science museum directors, etc. Also from 15 different countries. A qualitative methodology was chosen due to the interaction or the intention to explore the personal perceptions of the science communicators, researchers, and practitioners, and their arguments regarding different barriers and incentives for engaging in science communication. To scientists engaged in science communication activities, a set of incentives has been identified. Some of which are based on a vision of science communication as a social commitment. It is seen as a return to society for funding science, a way of improving democracy and protecting responsible research, and a tool for raising awareness, enhancing scientific culture, and or promoting scientific callings or vocations. But also some incentives are grounded in a vision of science communication as a strategy for obtaining personal or professional benefits. It plays a role in attaching either funding or scientific collaboration and in persuading strategic stakeholders, or alternatively is seen as simply a way of enjoying themselves. There is also a vision of science communication as part of a scientist's job. Communication plans and activities involving scientists are often formally included in and required by grant agreements as part of research project receiving public funding. After the analysis of the results, we identified a number of barriers to the active engagement of scientists in science communication. There are lack of formal and informal recognition, a lack of time due to the excessive red tape on competitiveness of science itself, a lack of specialized training in science communication, a fear of being misunderstood by the public or by the journalists, and also a fear of being discredited by peers. So, derived from these results, we propose derived recommendations for policymaking. For example, including the requirements of science communication activities in the calls for proposals of scientific programs, also launching dedicated calls for funding science communication activities, promoting science communication as part of scientists' jobs, including formally science communication activities, as a criterion to value in the evaluation of scientists' careers, for example, in tenure tracks. And finally, providing rewards for researchers participating in science communication activities. Also, we have some derived communications for practitioners. First of all, offering adequate science communication training to scientists, including a specific workshop for PhD students, postdocs, or senior researchers. Another one would be including science communication in subjects in undergraduate science degrees programs as part of the necessary skill set that the researcher needs. Considering participation in science communication activities as an additional indicator of scientific productivity and excellence during the recruitment and career of research staff. And finally, offering scientists institutional support, means financial, technical, and human resources for carrying out their science communication activities. Moving to the results of the interviews regarding professional communicators. So regarding the incentive for professional engagement in science communication, we found that the new specialized job positions have emerged as a reaction to the crisis in journalism and the changes in the communication world. Communication can be an alternative career path for scientists, but it also helps them to fulfill their personal interests or curiosity. Professionals also mention communication as an answer to social responsibility. It allows them to combat hoaxes and science misinformation, to increase public knowledge, to help people to make informed decisions, and to facilitate scientific and non-scientific dialogues. As regards the barriers that professional communicators encounter, they mostly mention the lack of resources, mainly funding. They also refer to the need for specialized knowledge to work in this sector. In particular, they mention scientific knowledge of the social relevance of science or how to develop and evaluate such science communication activities efficiently. To their mind, there is also a lack of support from research institutions, mass media organizations, and governments. In many institutions, job positions related to science communication are temporary, rely on specific projects, and do not fit in with the institutional strategy in place. So from these results, we also propose some recommendations for policymakers. For example, making specific resources for promoting a specialization in science communication. Also establishing awards or recognitions to reward science communication action and professional science communicators. And promoting the stability of these new science communication jobs in public science institutions. And finally, promoting science communication as an alternative career path for people with scientific training, with a proper structure and rewards in terms of wages and evaluation. And finally, we also have some recommendations regarding practitioners. So first of all, it would be offering communication specialized training in science, like for example, subjects included in undergraduate or postgraduate degree programs. Also including science communication in institutional strategies, creating institutional positions relating to science communication in research institutions, and finally promoting specialized science communications among legacy and digital mass media organizations. So thank you very much for your attention. I hope that that overset seems interesting for you at the highlight of the results, and I will be happy to answer any questions you have. Thank you very much.